Hey, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our April meeting. Let's start by doing pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll get a roll call from me, please.
Ms. Bagley? Here. Chair Bailey?
Present.
Ms. Hayes?
Here.
Ms. Heiser? Here. Ms. Holmes? Mr. Gordy? Mr. Karantonis?
Here.
Ms. Luna? Mr. McLaughlin?
Here, but I believe Ms. Simmons could be for the minute.
Ms. Mensing?
Here.
Mr. Stewart? Mr. Stork?
Here.
Dr. Young?
What is anything?
Director Zimmerman?
Here.
And Madam Chair, we do have a quorum.
Excellent. We're good?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. You're being informed physically present. Do I have a motion and a second? So moved.
Second.
Any objections? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Betty.
All right, we're gonna move into the safety moment. We are located at 14700 Potomac Mills Road in Woodbridge. I'm gonna ask Chris Henry to be our primary 911 caller and Anaya to be his backup. Nick, where are you? Will be our runner to meet the emergency responders outside and direct them to the emergency. I don't know if anyone has noticed the fire department drill. We have emergency responders very close today, so and can I have everyone who is CPR certified raise their hands, please? Okay, Dallas, will you please be our primary CPR, and Lindsay, you can be a backup. Joe, you will be the one to retrieve the first aid kit or the AED. It's located outside in the second floor foyer next to the elevator. And in case of fire, Mubashir, raise your hand. There we are. We'll retrieve a fire extinguisher from the kitchen for a fire, any fire that is no bigger than a trash can. Anything that is larger than a trash can, we will evacuate. For evacuation, if we need to, please exit through the double doors in an orderly fashion. Those seated at the table, make sure you push in your chairs. Those in the back of the room, please move any tripping hazards from around your seats. Use the stairs to the immediate right as you exit these double doors and do not use the elevator. We will meet up in the grassy area by the visitor parking area across from the front of the building. And just please be responsible for making sure that the person to your right, one look to your right, exits safely and makes it to the designated meeting area. Always be mindful of tripping hazards, be aware of your surroundings, and in case of evacuation for this facility, please be aware of any approaching buses. For security, in the case of an active shooter, remember the run, hide, fight axiom. Your best option is to flee. If you can't flee, then hide. We will lock the doors and barricade if necessary, and then stay out of sight. If you cannot successfully hide, prepare to fight. Look for something that you can use and fight back. And that is our safety moment.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Ms. Show. We'll move now to have the approval of the agenda. I'd like to have a motion, please, for the approval of the agenda. Excuse me. Second. Thank you very much. Any additions or subtractions from the agenda? Any additions, I should say. Thanks. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to have the approval for the minutes for March 20th, please.
So moved. Second.
Thank you very much. Any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. So I will move into my comments. They will be brief. First of all, just thank you so much for spending your Friday with me again and again. I appreciate it. I promise to keep the meeting as short as possible. Katie will have the bulk of the good news for us, whatever that looks like. But just wanted to highlight, the board has requested that we have a retreat together. Yes, Dan? Yes, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna craft an agenda that you have deemed necessary for us to have stronger team relationships and to make sure that we are all aware of the high level of the VRE board and what is going on, what's the good news on VRE. And so we're gonna do that. Katie and I have been talking about a date. We haven't chosen a date yet because May is gonna be really busy. So we might have to move it to June. But I would just request that the chair is gonna celebrate her 50th wedding anniversary, and I want to be with y'all too, so work it out for me, please. But we'll be doing some team building, exercises, might be doing some exercising too. And, but we're also gonna talk about projects, per jurisdictions, and I'm sure that's what you want to talk about as well. So we will keep it light but intentional, so that it is a retreat that is serving you as a board. And so that's kind of my story for today. I'm gonna stick to it. And any questions for me? Okay, hearing none, I'll pass it over to Ms. Show.
All right, I cannot promise to be as brief. Good morning, Chair Bailey and the members of the board.
Good morning.
This morning, I'm going to focus my report on a deep dive into our most recent performance, particularly looking at schedule and ridership, and then current efforts to improve our performance. And then I'll close briefly with a legislative update and notification of some upcoming events. So we're going to start with our operations performance, specifically on-time performance. So VRE's on-time performance goal is 90%, a composite 90% between the two lines. Pre our Long Bridge construction, we had been close. We had been in the very high upper 80s, though we had never actually hit 90% or over when combining both lines. Individual lines have hit 90% or gone over. However, post Long Bridge construction start, as I previously discussed in the last couple of board meetings, maintaining that level of on-time performance has been a challenge. And this is the piece that I want everyone to understand as to why you're seeing such certain challenging months. We have a 5-minute contingency in our schedule. 5-minute contingency. Any delay over 5 minutes results in cascading delays across the remaining schedule. And 5 minutes is not very much when you're looking at the number of trains and the amount of congestion that we see on the tracks. What we can see from this chart is when it all goes well, we can achieve our pre-construction performance. We did that in February. However, the problem is when something goes wrong, it can have a very significant impact, which is what we saw in January and March. So it's been pretty wild fluctuations in our on-time performance over the last 3 months. Let's see, this is the weekly chart for those who have as bad vision as I do. It is important to look at what the aggregated on-time performance masks. So when we look at this weekly performance, February had an aggregated for the month 88% on-time performance. You can see that in the first 4 columns on this chart. We were in the upper 80s for each week. March's aggregated on-time performance was 77%. But as you can see, the last 2 weeks, we were on the upper 80s again. The first 2 weeks, we had significantly lower performance. So that very poor performance in the first 2 weeks, combined with that very good performance in the latter half of the month, gave us that 77%. So the weekly performance can be very different and mask what we're seeing on a monthly basis. I am not using this as an excuse. It's in no way an excuse. We understand that perception is reality here. If you are on one of these trains that has had multiple delays in multiple weeks, your experience of VRE's reliability is poor, and we know that. So it's each individual person's experience and how they perceive the on-time performance that matters, not what these numbers actually show. But I just want to be clear about what that perception is versus what our actual metrics show. No amount of data analysis is going to change people's experience, and that's why I sort of point out how things fluctuate across the weeks. But our experience, the people's individual experiences can change what their decisions on what mode to use in future commutes. So we know that this is something that performance matters. So what are we doing to improve? The most important improvements are the long-term ones, and they are the infrastructure improvements. That's what we're working on right now. 60 to 75% of our delays on a monthly basis are caused by track congestion and infrastructure problems. You can see that that's the dark blue and the red on these two charts. One is February and one is March. The infrastructure and capacity improvements we are doing right now will directly mitigate, if not entirely eliminate, these delays. So when we're looking out the 4 to 5 years to post Long Bridge, post our third and fourth track projects, post our station projects, those delays should shrink to almost nothing. But clearly still leaves us room to improve both in the short term and with things that we can control, such as mechanical performance, schedule and passenger management, and staffing. So VRE has 21 rail cars on order with Alstom. They are on schedule to be delivered starting in late 2027. This picture here is a very exciting picture because it is the first shell coming off the line. This is a real picture of a real rail car that is being produced. We should think of this though as this one in particular as a prototype or a template that they use for quality assurance before they go into full production. So this is not necessarily one that will actually make it to us. This is where they try everything out, make sure everything fits, and then go into full production. But it's still a very significant milestone that we are excited to celebrate. If you are in Alexandria, and I know Ms. Bagley and I had this conversation yesterday, you cannot fail to see the 3 huge cranes that are mobilized at the Alexandria Station project that are ready for our first weekend of bridge jump span installation. Before that work begins, we will begin installing a temporary platform between the tracks that will make the Alexandria shuffle that we have discussed safer, easier on the riders, and more efficient. And this is one place that we can have a real measurable difference on our on-time performance. We have currently gotten the shuffle down to about 6 minutes per shuffle consistently. And this should shorten that even further because it is a much less of a walk. You should just be able to cross the platform and get on the second train. It will also increase the loading and unloading capacity of the station in total for both VRE and Amtrak by increasing the length of the platform to serve more doors simultaneously. So this is overall a good efficiency improvement during construction that we're making that should impact positively our on-time performance. And then finally, the third picture is of Seminary Yard. The first phase of our Seminary Yard work is nearing completion. This will have a significant positive impact on track congestion by opening the north entrance and exit to the yard. Currently, we only have one entrance and exit to this yard, which is on the south side. So when the trains pull out of the yard to get on the main line, they have to do what Dallas calls the seesaw move, which takes not a short period of time to go back and forth, get the train all the way out onto the main line, reverse direction, and get it all the way going to Alexandria. And then actually like stops all the rest of the traffic on the main line while that move is happening. So that will also reduce congestion and any congestion delays that we've seen from that movement. So we do have some short-term improvements that are happening to improve our on-time performance, as well as the long-term infrastructure work. We are not only making physical changes though. our most delayed train is the Manassas Line 329. This is one that we're seeing consistent delays on. That train is getting a schedule upgrade that we have a target implementation date of July 4th for. Sorry, not July 4th, June 4th. No, June 4th. This 329 is one of our busiest trains. And in the new proposed schedule, this train and its current shuffle partner will both originate from Union Station. So we are eliminating the shuffle for this particular train. So that should improve the performance not only for this particular train and its riders who have had sort of an unfair burden of the on-time performance, but also overall schedule improvement. We are also leveraging our contractual partnership with Keolis to learn from their international experience. This is one of the advantages of having Keolis as our operating partner. This second picture here is the new chairman and CEO of Keolis Group, Frederik van Heems. He has been on the job even less time than I have. He started about a month ago.
Season.
That's right. He visited our Lou facility this past Monday with his international team. They have a number of leadership that is throughout the Keolis Group. And in particular, in this picture is the CEO of the Keolis International Operations. She's the woman right in the middle. International for them is outside of France, so we fall under that. They have committed to working collaboratively with us to refine and modernize our operating model. So we are going to be taking better advantage of our Keolis partners. So now moving from on-time performance into recent ridership performance. So this chart clearly highlights our challenges in having such a homogeneous ridership base dominated by federal employees. If you look, the second column, sort of that first call out box, is the federal return to office mandate that was issued in late February of 2025. We, VRE, saw ridership grow by 40% overnight due to this mandate. However, 8 months later, when the fork in the road deferred resignation agreement deadline hit and the federal workforce reductions continued, we saw a 30% reduction again overnight. So while we seem to be stabilizing now, and you can sort of see this in the right-hand side of the chart, we seem to be stabilizing in the mid 8,000s for our daily ridership. This is still 20 to 25% reduction from our post-pandemic high, which happened during that return to office time. So in order to help smooth any peaks and valleys that we're experiencing due to federal workforce policies, as well as to better serve Northern and Central Virginians, we know we need to attract new riders and diversify our ridership base. So that's really where our focus is. So what are we doing about it? First, we are taking care of and learning from our existing riders. We are conducting our annual customer service survey on April 22nd. So we will be out, including me, out on the trains on April 22nd in the morning. It is an online survey, but we make sure that we have a really strong in-person presence to encourage people to take the survey. A very high response rate for that survey. It's about 60% of our riders on that day actually take the survey, give us that feedback. And we want to make sure that we continue to have that high response rate. We are also holding our annual Meet the Management events. Those take place at Union Station, L'Enfant, Crystal City, Alexandria, and Franconia Springfield. We have 3 of them left. The dates are listed here. We'd love for any and all of you to join us at any and all of those Meet the Management events. It's a great way of connecting with our riders, getting, frankly, what I have found, great ideas and feedback from them. They experience it every day, and it's good to hear their perspectives and what they think we can do to improve. And also we thank them with VRE gear and snacks for their ride. It's always a very uplifting and positive experience for everyone. We're also working on establishing strategic partnerships to focus our marketing and growth efforts. This includes right now working with the Northeast Corridor Commission on their summer event rail promotions. As we all know, there's a lot going on up and down the Northeast Corridor this summer, and they are working to promote use of all of the rail systems along the Northeast Corridor to attend events from the FIFA World Cup to the baseball all-star game in Philadelphia, to the America's 250 events.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
so we're partnering with them on their marketing. You'll see that we have they stood up yesterday, actually, their webpage on this. It has a lot of great information. I highly encourage everyone to go to it. They're also putting out brochures that we will make sure get in your hands so that you can see what the brochures that they have are putting out are providing. We also are partnering with George Mason University at the Manassas Innovation District and the National Landing bid to target employers for direct outreach and to co-promote VRE service.
Kate,
Yes.
just on that last piece,
Mhm.
it's so exciting to see that kind of co-branding and promotion that's going on with Amtrak and with you, and just encourage as well opportunities for VRE to help provide easy information to the local transit networks that exist too. Both it's great if folks are coming to DC for some of these big events, but they might want to also come down to Fredericksburg or other points south. So ways that we can make sure it's easy for people, if they're taking the train, to then be able to use local transit when they get to some of those southern destinations.
Mhm.
Appreciate that.
We are also sort of moving a little further out, learning from the work of others across the transportation industry. I've had the honor of being appointed to the board of the Commuter Rail Coalition this past month. From there, I will be able to influence industry policy and learn from our industry peers. It's a great group to be involved with. VRE has long been active in CRC, but the participation at the leadership level will help amplify all of those benefits and relationships. We are also working closely to analyze the COG TPB 2025 State of the Commute Survey. And I do believe that we'll be inviting them here to give a presentation in the next at the next board meeting. There's room for a more in-depth discussion of this, and I think that it's really important that everyone understands the results. There are a few things that I'd like to highlight now, though, to start showing the opportunities that VRE needs to capitalize on. So some of the things that they found in the State of the Commute Survey is that full-time telework has dropped, while hybrid arrangements is growing. So there actually are more people commuting into the office than there were the last time that they did this survey. Driving alone does remain the most prevalent commuting mode. I think anyone who has navigated traffic can believe that, but that is followed by transit as the second most common mode. Satisfaction amongst transit riders grew, while the satisfaction of those who commute alone has decreased. So good news for us overall. And 77% of commuters who drove alone have free parking provided by their employers, while only 24% of people who use transit have free parking provided by their employers. This is really a public policy opportunity, I would say, to the board, that if we want to put more people on transit, disincentivizing free parking is a good way of doing that. So that's a call to action, I would say, for all of you. And the other thing I think that is important to note here, which was, I think maybe a little bit of a surprise to me, is that there's generally low awareness of commuter benefits. And so that is an area that I know VRE tries to promote, is teaching people how to utilize their commuter benefits for VRE ridership. I think that there's more opportunities there in general.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
on that same note,
Mhm.
the Amtrak stuff, sorry.
Mike, can we hold questions until she's after?
Okay.
Please,
Sure.
appreciate it.
Anything for you, Madam Chair.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. One of the top 5 reasons in this survey that respondents stated for not driving alone was cost savings. And this is true, and frankly, only truer, which I don't think is really a word, but only truer with the increase in gas prices right now. So if we look at 2025 gas prices, so definitely not where we are at right now, riders on the Fredericksburg line save almost $18 a day in fully loaded costs by riding VRE. That is a huge savings. It's almost $5,000 a year if you're commuting 5 days a week, and $2,000 a year if you're on a hybrid schedule. That's real money. On the Manassas line, it's a shorter line. Riders save between $500 and $2,000 a year based on their commute schedule. Transit is an affordability solution. I will repeat that. Transit is an affordability solution, not only allowing access to more affordable housing markets, which we know, and economic mobility, but through direct cost savings. And this is something we do not talk about enough. And I think something that we need to really start putting out there.
Mhm. Excellent.
Madam Chair. I know you wanted to. It's just a technical thing.
Yeah, sure, please. Try to keep us informed. So much, please. Okay,
I will be done in a minute. I am almost done.
Okay, thank you, Jen.
It's okay.
Okay, I am gonna move on to the legislative update here. Affordability being a good segue into our legislative update. Joe Swartz, our VRE Director of Government and Community Affairs, attended the 2026 APTA Legislative Conference earlier this week. The central theme of this conference was the need for a robust long-term federal investment in public transportation and the reauthorization of surface transportation programs. The conference included sessions with members of Congress and senior federal officials, including leadership from USDOT, FTA, FRA, and the TSA. And then on Tuesday, the former VRE Operations Board member and current Congressman James Walkinshaw addressed the conference. So it was good to have local
Yes.
representation there. In conjunction with this conference, Keolis hosted a reception and a panel discussion at the residence of the French ambassador to the United States titled Building Strong Transit Networks, Lessons on Livable Communities from International Leaders. This is an example of Keolis bringing us into the international conversation. Prior to this event, and this was frankly more exciting than the panel, I was invited to meet with Valérie Pécresse, the president of the Regional Council of Île-de-France, which is really the entire Paris region in France. Madame President Pécresse is a well-known French public official whose career has focused on public service, regional development, and advancing innovative transportation policy. We were joined by Fred Van Heems and Joe Swartz. The conversation highlighted the significant modernization efforts underway in the Paris region's transit network, championed, frankly, quite strongly by Ms. Pécresse, and explored opportunities for knowledge sharing that could inform improvements to our own regional systems. It was an exciting conversation. The exchange offered valuable insights into international best practices that have worked. These have produced real results and innovative approaches to building strong customer-focused transit networks. So that was a really lovely day to be exchanging ideas, understanding what they have experienced there and how we can, what it takes to actually put a major transformation in rail systems together. I will say that my update on the Virginia budget is far less uplifting than my Monday meetings. The special session is scheduled to begin, as you all know, on April 23rd. There is still significant uncertainty over the top line revenue number. The unresolved revenue issues are directly affecting discussions about statewide transit funding, including any funding available for VRE and WMATA. We do have some hope that in-person engagement may help to move those budget talks forward productively. So we are continuing to engage with those budget talks and to remind everyone how important transit funding is to the Commonwealth of Virginia. Back to the fun stuff. So upcoming events. The first one is tonight, our Fredericksburg Nationals game. I'm looking forward to seeing a few of you there. As I mentioned last month, we are sponsoring tonight's fireworks and we'll be hosting an information booth throughout the game. We also have a couple interviews. Our own Fredericksburg resident, Chris Henry, and I will each have a chance to talk on the big screen during the game. And we are excited to use this opportunity to raise awareness of VRE and our connections to the community. We're also hosting an industry day this month for engineering and construction organizations that are interested in doing business with VRE. The program will include overviews of our strategic programs, upcoming project opportunities, and how to find and respond to solicitations, as well as best practices in doing work with us. And one that I didn't put on this slide is Bike to Work Day, which happens actually the day of our next board meeting. And I will remind everyone that there are bike racks here at this facility. So if you feel so moved to bike here to the next board meeting, maybe we will have a special gift for you. So take that as a challenge. So with that, I am happy to take it.
Okay, so that would just be my
But
hands up, everybody. So she ended on bike. She ended on bike, riding day, and I said you all got excited. You gotta figure it out. We gotta figure out. Are there any questions for Katie? I'm gonna start with Mr. Mike. Thank you so much for your patience.
No problem. You hit on what I was gonna talk about a few seconds later on affordability. Want to remind people that the Amtrak Step Up program, if you buy a VRE 10 pass or monthly ride, it's basically almost a membership to get cheap Amtrak rides. Because for instance, and now Step Up works on weekends. If you want to take, I'm a Fredericksburg person like a few other people here. If you want to go to Alexandria or DC, the ticket costs $50 in Amtrak if you're buy through Amtrak at 3 o'clock on Saturday. If you want to go in the district or Alexandria for the evening, it'll cost you only $4 extra if you have a VRE 10 ride or monthly pass. So that affordability item, the fact that we got that, we worked with Amtrak and got that step up program for weekends too, is a big deal. And if we can add that to the marketing, I know we've talked about it, Katie, add that to the marketing push for people. I think a lot of people don't know that. And that's a great opportunity to get our feet wet in the weekend service as well. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Mike. And I'm gonna come to you, Janet, but Ms. Zimmerman, you had a plug also, and I want you to repeat your plug.
okay, thank you, Madam Chairman. Yes, I was just mentioning that as we have lots of exciting things happening over the summer months, and it always happens, opportunities for VRE to also make it easy for your riders to know where those local transit connections are, not only in the DC area, but hopefully folks from DC might be taking the train down south at the end of the day, or as that works in the system. So just appreciate our continued collaboration. We're looking for ways at DRPT, working with VPRA and Amtrak and others to really kind of promote a seamless way for especially visitors to the region to know all the options to see the state, that you don't have to get in a car and add more congestion to our already very congested interstates.
Yeah, and we do have I'll be back to the board later with a real update on this, but we're prototyping right now some new displays for our stations that will include the local transit connections as part of the information displays. So that is on its way, but not quite ready for prime time.
I'm gonna put in a shameless plug and say we are so fortunate to have PTRT and BPRA and our wonderful Katie who's at the helm with us here at the board to help us navigate it. So thank you for your comments. And Madam Chair, Treasurer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to clarify that you said that there was an $18 a day savings on the Fredericksburg line. Is that with today's?
That is not. So we ran this analysis with 2025 gas prices. So
it's more than that.
So it is more than that. It is more than that.
I just wanted before I put it out there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And I will note that that's a fully loaded savings. So it does take into account things like maintenance on your cars and that sort of thing. So I always,
Okay.
That's the way AAA does it. I just think that it's always important to call that out. It's not just gas prices that go into that analysis.
And may I ask in reference to Janet's question, can we get, and I'm not trying to give you extra work, but I think this would help us as board members if you could give us a one-sheeter on all of the good news so we can, because we don't want to misquote something that's been said. And if you could give us a one-sheeter and we could put it on our website and put it out, I think that would help us in support of what you said. I saw another hand. Yes, ma'am.
So kind of piggyback on that, I was gonna ask, I was looking at the report for that slide you showed on affordability. It would be great if we could have that along with maybe some of the programs that Mr. McLaughlin was talking about. Because every time I come to one of these meetings, I share on my newsletter, here's what VRE is doing, here's some great opportunities. I would love to share that information. So if we can get something sent to us around that way we can help promote VRE and the benefits of this.
Great. I think that would be great. Thank you so much. Yes, seconds. Good morning to you, sir.
Thank you for all the work. Yeah, I find the first slides more thought-provoking and would like to dive. I mean, how to mitigate the appearance or, how to avoid the public perception of this is unreliable. One thing is, I know it will come late, but the other thing is to be unreliable, not knowing exactly what to deal with. So the best way to communicate that is a question from me and how we involve our writers as partners of the enterprise here, as to say, okay, this week, this is what you have for one. Thank you for bearing with me. Things I don't know that we're working for you. That's important. The second thing is I find the numbers that we have over there because I've worked in commuter work, the alternative cost commuting, they are vastly understated. Vastly. First of all, there are fuel counts, fuel mile counts. This is not good enough. Almost 70% of the cost of private locomotion is not fuel. Correct. Fuel is actually a tiny number compared to this. And private locomotion has, we have to reveal the cost of driving to people. Now, is it our job to do that? Well, in this case, yes, because we're running a competition, right? So we have to tell them. Driving is now almost 60% more expensive. Sorry, 40% more expensive than it was 3 years ago. And finally, the biggest impediment. So 250 or World Pride last year, etc., is the fact that nobody knows how to navigate the ticket thing, going from one system to the next. So your French colleagues will tell you that they don't have a ticket that doesn't board you on metro when you come out of Réseau Express, right? So we do, and that's something that we need to talk with our Virginia and regional partners. I think that right now, given that we have at least in one system the tap and go, it's I don't know if it's technically possible, but it's worth pushing it because if we get it done now, we will keep it. That's important.
Could you? What's your request?
My request is to look at the ticket transferability for special things, freedom to 50, freedom of going from one system to the next without having to pay. So.
Yeah. That is our
Transportation.
I so appreciate when Taki's comments because he's got an international perspective.
Oh, it's not
No,
international.
but you do, your background is international, so that helps us. That helps us. It's a compliment. That helps us. It really does.
I know the price.
Yes.
It's 255, by the way, vastly less. But they also moved to 0.5 million people a day or something.
Yes, a lot. So any other questions, please? Yes, Sonia.
Thank you. I do appreciate, the comparison, especially in Manassas. It's not only about the money, but also about the time. If it was possible to add that, because while the VRE, they have time to be more efficient, especially today, everybody's trying to do everything at the same time. So I just, think about it. It could be an added value because we do have a lot of traffic. And to me, the most important time it will be Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday. Wednesday is the worst traffic, and that could be an on top marketing way. I just want to bring it up because the money is important, but the time that you can be doing other work while you're in the train, I believe that is always a good feedback that we get from the writers.
Thank you.
Yes.
I was just gonna
Madam
piggyback on
Chair.
that, sorry, Madam Chair, but I was just gonna piggyback that you all have been doing some of that on Instagram. Talking about what you can do on the train that you can't do when you're driving, so I think it's a really good point, and I'm enjoying your Instagram.
Oh, good. So good, so good. Let's take one more question. Anyone else have one more? Will there be one more question? Okay, if not, Katie, beautiful report. I also, if you could include in that one sheeter, meet the management. The dates are very important to us as well, so that we can make sure we're supporting Your inhibitors are.
Absolutely.
And then your call to action was again? You had a call to action. in
I
there.
did have a call to action.
You want to come back to it?
I can come back to
Okay,
it.
all right, all right. I know
Money,
it was.
money.
Okay.
It's always money.
Always money. Okay, currently, we're gonna move into our, writers and public comment time, and so VRE accepts public comments both in person, electronically via the VRE website. Members of the public wishing to make public comments, you have 3 minutes and should state your name and your jurisdiction to where you live. Or is there anyone in the audience that's here that would love to step up to the podium and okay, seeing none, written comments submitted before 8 a.m. this morning will be forwarded to the members of the board. Do you have any members for public comment time that were electronically sent to you?
Madam Chair, I had none.
None?
I had none.
Thank you so much. With that, we're gonna go into our consent agenda. Item 9A, authorization to issue an invitation for bids for the rehabilitation of wheel sets and traction motor assembles. Please, Kate.
I don't really have much. The both items on the consent agenda are authorization to solicit for either services or for materials. So this is just no financial commitment to this, just getting stuff out on the street.
Okay, and item B is authorization to issue a request for proposals for construction management oversight services for LaFont Plaza and Fourth Track Improvement Projects. And I'd like to request a motion for the approval of this.
So moved.
Second.
Awesome, I love it. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I had a brain thing. Opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next is our action items. Item 10A is authorization to execute a letter of agreement with the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority for joint development and adjacent construction support services for L'Enfant Station and Fourth Track Project. Katie, please. Yep.
L'Enfant Station, as I believe all of you are aware, is quite in close proximity to the Metro's L'Enfant Station. That means that we need to work very closely with them to ensure coordination between their project and infrastructure and our project and the infrastructure. So this letter of agreement will support the coordination, any technical reviews, and ensure compliance with WMATA's standards, as well as facilitate project delivery within the active multimodal transit environment that is there. This will provide specifically project coordination and design review, joint development and adjacent construction administrative support, engineering support, oversight of any activities that are happening during construction, verification of compliance with their standards, and participation in any coordination meetings. Costs are funded from the existing project resources, so this does not add to the cost of the project, at least doesn't add unexpected costs to the cost of the project, and is a standard action for when we're working in proximity to any metro infrastructure.
Excellent. Like to entertain.
Move to approve.
Second.
Are there any questions to this item?
Just a
Yes, ma'am.
question in reference to the initial funding.
Mhm.
So is there a risk or something that you can make sure that's in writing about providing the initial funding and not getting what it is that you need for that first phase of the project?
Yeah, so this is essentially a contract. So the letter of agreement works as a contract with WMATA. So they are required to provide the services as part of this letter of agreement. It is done essentially, let's say kind of a reimbursable agreement where, they almost invoiced like a consultant would invoice us. So it's sort of how that works, so that we're paying them for the work that they're doing. I do not believe that there's a way that we can fully control those costs. If they need to put more resources into it, we will need to adjust the agreement, but we would go through a negotiation with them prior to any adjustments. So we would be able to control those costs to the best of our ability.
Thank you, Dr. Young. Any other questions? Motion has been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Item 10B, recommend the commission's ratify a grant application for the Longfont Station and Fort Track project to DRPT I-66 outside and the Beltway funding program. Katie, please.
Yeah, this is, I want to thank our DRPT partners for working with us on this one. There had been some questions in the past about whether funding from this grant could be used outside of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and Longmont Station is within the District of Columbia. Secretary Donahue has made the determination that this is eligible funding for this project. And so we worked with DRPT to be able to submit a project application after that determination was made. So this is to help us fully fund this project.
Excellent. Would like to entertain a motion, please.
I'm sure. Oh, that's okay. I'll move, also move.
Second.
Are there any questions?
That's my question is just, I couldn't be happier. This is huge. I mean, this is really a big deal and really will make, I mean, all the difference, frankly, in our capital budgets and all the other things that we know where we're going, right? We also know the amount of money it takes, millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars it's going to take us to get there. And this clearly further moves us along that process and getting to where we want to be 2030, 2035 in particular, I think is where we're going to really see all these different elements really come together. And this just moves that ball along and gives me confidence and hopefully other ones on board that we will get there. So thank you.
Mr. Vice Chair, thank you so much for that wonderful comment. It read my brain. Would you like to have a comment?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for those comments, Mr. Vice Chair. Yes, this project is very important for the state, and I think the Secretary recognizing that. We did our due diligence at DRPT as well. We sort of felt, even though it's in DC, these are Virginia commuters who are going into DC, and just as we have with OmniRide and with VPRA, Long Bridge projects and other things, the destination and the origin matter. So we know, and in working with VRE, getting the ridership numbers of just how many passengers from Virginia do get off and on at Lafont Station. It's critical to connect to WMATA, a lot of jobs around there that commuters are going to. We also looked at the past precedent for other projects that we have funded in the past using toll revenues from this 395, other sources. So again, it's not an outlier. We feel that there's a very strong, clear legal argument for doing this that really is supporting and helping commuters get where they need to go and get back home if they're getting off and on Lafont. Also knowing how critical it is to make this project happen in sequence with the VPRA work that is also happening just down the track. We don't want to be disrupting things more than we need to. And so being able to get this project moving forward, keeping steady progress happening so that we can have everything wrap up in 2030 is very important for Virginia, for the state, for taxpayers, for the riders on the systems. So just lots of reasons that we're happy to be able to work with you and support this. I will also mention we will have other VRE projects that will be included along with recommendations for funding local transit and other works in the FY27 6-year investment program draft that will be coming out actually on Monday. In Fredericksburg will be the very first of those district hearings. And so we will have that draft document available for folks to see what is being proposed in total for funding. I think May 19th is the district hearing in Northern Virginia for that. So for folks who want to kind of see the full package that we're supporting for VRE, all of that will be made available in just a couple of days. So
Thank you very much for your wonderful comments. Yes, Sarah, please.
No, I appreciate the expansive, interpretation. I'm curious, might it also apply to other projects between Longfont Station and Union Station? Without, I'm just curious, is there?
I love that.
I guess I could just leave that there.
Yeah.
But I think everything you just enunciated, I think opens up other possibilities for other needs that also carry commuters from Virginia to other locations in the district. And so I'm very pleased to see this expansive interpretation, that benefits everybody.
Yeah, and I think, we always look at the projects as they come in. But as mentioned, we are using some of these revenues to support service that OmniRide, Fairfax, others are doing that bring workers in and out of the District of Columbia. So it's not any and all, I can't promise that, like we look at it on a case by case basis. But this is certainly a strong case to be made for this project.
We are so glad that you looked at this case. Thank you so much. So we are going to, any more comments before we move on? We're doing great with time. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That should have been a resounding. Item C is authorization to execute a contract for construction management services for the Crystal City Station Improvement Project. Katie, please.
Yes, this is again moving our program forward for all of these capacity improvements. This is a contract for construction management services. And we been confused about my dates and everything here. So authorizing the executing the contract for construction management services at Crystal City. This firm will begin reviewing the final design prior to issuing the invitation for bid for construction. So this actually starts earlier than the selection of the construction contractor. They advise us moving forward from this point. Following the award, this CM will be responsible for assisting us with observing, documenting, and reporting on all of the construction activities. So they are our partner on the ground while the work is going on. We did review 6 proposals after the RFP was issued in December. And the proposal by GFT Infrastructure Inc. was ranked highest, and the staff certified the cost proposals as fair and reasonable.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you very much. Mr. Terracons, do you have a topic?
No,
I thought you had
nothing.
your
I
hand
mean, this is very nice to see that. Actually, it rhymes. It's going, I mean, we have to understand that this segment of the system serves at least Lanfan is 45% of total ridership, but I believe that this serves maybe another 20% or so. So this is a significant part. And as always, I mean, we're not only paying and doing this for our riders, but also to connect the region better. I mean, we are bringing also economic development advantages to every single part. This is an important piece of that. It will connect Fredericksburg riders with their closest airport and back. And that's extremely important. So for our Manassas friends, etc., this really reconnects and rewires Virginia in a way that only VRE can achieve right now. So that's incredibly important.
In a way that only we can achieve.
And everybody's very excited about this, including the major stakeholders, which is the airport authority. I just had last week a meeting with them, and even VDOT, because all these meshes together very well.
Mike, could you?
Yeah, question. First a comment, this is an important project, and VPR often secures entities such as this to be an owner's rep, if you will. We've done that on Long Ridge, we've done it for Franconia Bypass. I do have one question. Gannon Fleming Trans Systems is being selected. They're also your owner's rep at Alexandria Station. Just want to make, is there a team making sure that you're getting their 18 for both? Because those are two major projects.
Yeah, and that Dallas stepped out of the room, it looks like, but yes, that is absolutely that was part of the selection, is looking at not just the company as a whole, but the specific teams that were doing the work on each of on the projects. So yes, we will absolutely be holding them accountable for ensuring that we are getting the best staffing for both projects, and neither suffers by having to do both work.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. I'm so pleased for us to feel the momentum, the connectivity, that's now faux pas, but the connectivity, but also people that understand what we're trying to achieve to keep things moving. And Katie and I talk about that quite a bit. So all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good. Motion carries. The next item is item D, authorization to exercise a contract option and amend a task order for custodial and seasonal services for VRE facilities.
So one of the biggest places that we rank highest in our customer service survey, which is the one that's coming out next week, is on the cleanliness of our system and our trains. And this contract is the one that is responsible for that. So just want to point out how important this contract is. This is to authorize the execution of the 2-year option on this contract with Fresh Air Duct Cleaning for custodial and seasonal services for our facilities. This increases the contract value from just over $8 million for the 3-year base period to $14 million for a total of 5 years. The contract includes base work and additional work to be approved through task orders. So they have a set amount of base work, and then we can authorize additional work through task orders. So the board is asked to authorize the amendment of the current task order as well as the option for on-call services on an as-needed basis. That increases the task order authorization from $308,000 to $506,000.
Excellent. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
We need a
motion.
So moved.
Motions? We had that already. Okay, may I have a motion, please? And second. Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The last item is item E, authorization to exercise a contract option and amend a task order for maintenance services for VRE facilities. Katie, please.
Yes, this is a similar structure to the Fresh Air contracts that we just discussed in terms of executing the 2-year option on the base contract plus the amendment of the task order for the additional services. This work is for maintenance. So the previous one was for cleaning and seasonal work. This is for actually maintenance of our facilities and keeping them maintained and in good working condition. And the contract is with US Facilities, Inc.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like to entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much, Katie. You bring good news, I'm telling you. Next, we're gonna move into our informational items. And I am so pleased that we're gonna talk about the presentation of the future Route 1 pedestrian bridge at Woodbridge, at the Woodbridge VRE station. And we are gathered here today by a wonderful guest. We've got Paula Benitez, the Deputy Director for Prince William County. Megan Landis is here. And as I call your name, you can stand so everyone will know who you are. Megan Landis is the Policy and Programming Manager. Gladys Argolita, did I say that right?
Correct.
Oh, my, Project Manager for Prince William County, and Phil Simon, who is our grant analyst. Paula, welcome to you all, and Paula, if you would, please.
Sure. Madam Chair, members of the Operations Board, thank you for having me. That's a great picture up there, Chair. That is a congressional earmark funding that the county received for the project from Congressman Vindman. So very exciting picture and very exciting project. So again, my name is Paula Belita with Prince William County Department of Transportation. We're here to give an update on the North Woodbridge Pedestrian Bridge project. And this is a very exciting project. Just some pictures here. You see the Woodbridge VRE station. You see the rendering for the Riverside Crossing development. That is 1,000 residential units, 158,000 square feet of retail. And we have a rendering of the pedestrian bridge with the switchback ramps we have there. Just some quick background. Project location, it is located immediately adjacent to the VRE Woodbridge station. On the other side of the graphic there, you see a clearing. That's where the Riverside Crossing mixed-use development will be constructed. So the project is located in North Woodbridge in northeast Prince William County on Route 1, just south of 123. You can see the 95 intersection there with 123 as well as the Potomac River. So this project is really located in an area where we're going to see a lot of redevelopment. And before I go into that, there's been a lot of questions about the project's location. One of the things we looked at was the direct tie into the existing VRE tower there you can see on the screen. There's a lot of factors and implications with that option. One, funding. Two, it's a larger crossing and some constructability concerns. The main concern is this project will be maintained by VDOT ultimately, and they do not maintain or allow facilities to tie into structures that are not maintained by the state. I'll talk about that here some more shortly. I did want to highlight the North Woodbridge Small Area Plan. A small area plan in the county is a subset of the comprehensive plan. It looks at targeted redevelopment areas in the county, one of which is the North Woodbridge area. This small area plan always envisioned a pedestrian bridge adjacent to the Woodbridge station and also multiple crossings along the Route 1 corridor. Did want to highlight the mixed-use development that we mentioned. This is a screenshot from the master zoning plan for Riverside Crossing, split into land bays, but their plan included the pedestrian bridge, and they actually included proffers that would either start the engineering for the bridge or provide monetary contribution for the bridge. Just also wanted to highlight another project adjacent to the Woodbridge Station. This is a future project. This is the 123 interchange. It'll be implemented by VDOT ultimately, but it is unfunded at this time, but we did want to highlight that project. And we'll go into graphics shortly, but just a couple other items for the project. This project is being administered by the county through VDOT's LAP program. So the LAP program stands for Locally Administered Projects Program. The county administers roadway projects, sidewalk trails, interchanges. Ultimately, these projects are maintained by VDOT. We built them to county and VDOT standards. And with the pedestrian bridge, we're following that same process. Just a graphic of the pedestrian bridge itself, 2 towers. You have a 200-foot steel stress prefab bridge, and it'll be ADA compliant. One of the things we looked at is we made sure we coordinated with VRE staff on the planning of the bridge. We shared our files, our CAD files. While we're not connected directly to the station, we want to make sure there's direct bike ped access to the bridge. And it's highlighted here. You can see a sidewalk connection to the existing sidewalk just south of the Kiss and Ride facility. Funding. So the project is estimated at about $12.7 million. Fortunately, we do have about 11.8 in that, 5 million in congressional earmark funding, and the rest in local funds from the county. With the federal earmark funding, we are on strict timelines and obligations, so we're required to obligate some of this federal funds by this year. So we're moving along. We've completed full engineering for the project. We're in the right-of-way utility phase. We hope to award the contract this summer and start construction very soon. So very exciting project. The intent is to improve connectivity in the area, not just for VRE users, but for pedestrians along the Route 1 corridor. Route 1 is a heavily utilized roadway, a lot of conflicts, unfortunately, a lot of injuries, fatalities when it comes to roadway users and pedestrians. Our goal is to improve safety and connectivity at this location. That's a quick overview. Happy to answer any questions about the project.
Excellent. Thank you so much. My regards to Rick Gonzalez.
Thank you.
So thanks for the brief.
Will do.
Are there any questions from the board? Yes, Dan.
Do you all have pedestrian projections for bridge utilization and maybe what it is current and then maybe what future projections would be?
We do not, unfortunately. We made some assumptions when the rezoning was approved with the mixed use development that it will generate heavy foot traffic, not just to the VRE, but some of the other areas in the North Woodbridge area. This will be the county's second pedestrian bridge. Prince William County is really auto-oriented. We're switching to the more mixed use. So this will be the second pedestrian bridge. We've done counts on our first bridge. We're seeing growth, but we don't have specific counts at this location.
Excellent. Any other questions? I'll go with Zimmerman and then I'll go.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Just on the ADA accessibility, I mean, it's a lot of switchbacking. It's a very long distance. It looks like it's covered for the whole distance. Is that true or not?
It will be for the actual switchback. We're still confirming last release it's covered steel stress bridge.
No, they will not.
It'll be an open area.
Switchback is covered, and then for the switchback, is it ADA compliant?
Yes. Yes.
And what's the grade pitch? Do you know? I mean, like it's different if you're like wheeling up there versus if you have an automated wheelchair. And I'm just wondering, like,
Yeah,
it works for.
Gladys, can you step forward? Please?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, will be ADA accomplished. All the plans is being revised by VDOT, and they will not let us to construct anything that is not ADA.
And to add to that, VIA actually has new standards on top of ADA, as you know, with ProAg. So it's very compliant.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Zimmerman. Yes.
Question, and if you said this, my apologies, I'm trying to get my bearings here, and as someone who does sometimes come up here and park and ride, and takes the train through here often. So you're coming from the new developments kind of southeast across Route 1. This answers my question. And you're not crossing the track, but you are coming just to the south end of the station of the Kiss and Ride. Okay.
It's all within VDOT right away. One of the things we coordinate with VRE staff is the future expansion, what that could look like. So this doesn't preclude any future improvements on the third track.
But you got to my next point. We, as I've talked about in previous board meetings, we have an application in with USDOT for, and you helped with a letter of support. Thank you. So Fairfax County did too, for what we call the Occoquan River Third Track Project. As Supervisor Stork knows well, that would actually 4.6 miles. That would take a third track through Woodbridge Station. So this will be done. We're just trying to get design money for it right now and set expectations. But thank you for that comment. You will not be touching CSX land. It seems like, because they do get sensitive about that kind of stuff. And but this is good timing, because we want to bring more trains. We want to bring more tracks through to make it easier and have more fluidity and capacity. So thank you.
This is leveling the surface going south, in addition to where we're going further south. So I think this is great. Yes, Takis.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What is exciting for me to see is that the North Woodbridge Mall area plan. So can you give me an idea how many households are you talking about?
So a lot of what you see in our smart area plan is areas that still need to be redeveloped. So the most immediate is the 1,000 unit Riverside Crossing, which is very substantial. We're getting redevelopment applications coming now, so I don't have an exact number, but they are coming. It's just taking a
So
little.
we're talking about what, at the end, maximum land use would be like 3,000. I mean, if you have 1,000 already and it's 1/3 of the.
Essentially, it'll be this will be the highest dense location in the county. I don't have the exact numbers, but.
Right, so I fully appreciate your approach. In my jurisdiction, we would have a fight about the pedestrian bridge like that. But we also don't have 9 or 10 lanes to cross. The question is, did you look at any alternatives, like for example, undergrounding or cut grade, et cetera? And did you do?
Sure, yeah, in the planning level exercise for the smart plan, that was considered. Prince County terrain can get very tricky. There's a lot of marine clay, so constructability could be difficult. The easiest and most direct option we determined was the pedestrian bridge. A lot of times our roadway bridges have bike path facilities, so that was always also part of the plan once the interchange was built. But for this location, we specifically looked at and analyzed a pedestrian bridge.
From the photo, what I found intriguing is there is already an overpass at the station.
Correct.
So connecting with that overpass and having a one, without having to go down, how about that?
That's something we looked at. Ideally, that makes the most sense. As I mentioned, it's a longer span to cross because you'll be crossing not just Route 1, but also the Kiss and Ride facility. So it is a longer crossing. There's some complexities. You'd have to engineer it into a way that you would accommodate the additional weight. The biggest thing is, since it's a VDOT project, it has to stay within VDOT right away, and it can't tie into a facility that's not maintained by VDOT. So, yes, the primary users will be VRE riders, but the intent is also to serve the pedestrians on the Route 1 corridor.
I'm just saying that from the point of view of pedestrian who has to go up there.
Understood.
Yeah, but this is we want to serve, right?
Yeah, understood. It makes the most sense. We completely agree. It is something we looked at extensively. Unfortunately, due to the timing, the funding, and the VDOT.
More central to land use, so you would capture, because you have to walk on the bridge if you are on the Occoquan part of the development. Okay, anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you, Takis. I appreciate it. I just wanted to thank you for coming and giving us the report. One little thing. I realize this is a project that we have. It's a season project. I won't say old. It's a season project, and we are working diligently to make sure that it happens. Since the project has been in existence, we have changed the name of Route 1 to, and so that is a seasoned presentation. But I know at the next one, when we invite you back, that will be changed.
Yes.
Thank you so much. thank you for all the work that you do to help us partner regionally with our colleagues. We
Thank you,
appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, moving into our spending authority report.
This has been provided as part of the board packet. Happy to take any questions if anyone has any questions, but I think it's relatively self-explanatory.
No questions? Okay, there's no motion or anything required for this, so let's move right along. We're going into closed session, and I'm gonna ask my vice chair if he would assist me.
Yeah. Pursuant to the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, sections 2.2-3711.a, parentheses 19 of the Code of Virginia, I move that the VRE Operations Board convene a closed meeting to discuss plans to protect public safety as it relates to terrorist activity or specific cybersecurity threats or vulnerabilities. The discussion in an open meeting would jeopardize the security of VRE facilities and infrastructure and the safety of persons using said facilities.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll take a minute.
Then take a roll call.
Okay, you take a roll call, please. We are ready to go. Vice Chair.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. The VRE Board certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge and with no individual member dissenting at the just concluded closed session. One, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements and the Freedom of Information Act were discussed, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed session was convened were heard, discussed, or considered.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes. Ms. Bagley,
Aye.
Chair Bailey,
Aye.
Ms. Hayes,
Aye.
Ms. Heiser. Ms. Holmes.
Aye.
Mr. Carringtonis. Ms. Luna.
Aye.
Ms. Mensing.
Aye.
Mr. Stewart.
Aye.
Mr. Stork.
Aye.
Dr. Young.
I agree.
Director Zuckerman.
I agree.
Madam Chair, that was unanimous.
Excellent, excellent. We moved into our operation board members' time, and I'm gonna start with my vice chair.
Just thank you, everybody, and this is an allergy season, and you know, I'm particularly suffering, but suffering, but also. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vance, please.
Well, I'm looking forward to this evening. I think it's gonna be a great night. So thank you so much for including all of us in that event. So see you this evening. Same, gonna be more excited about Fred Nats this evening. I don't know if you said anything, but like for people who are going, who haven't gone before, it's like a lot of other stadiums where you need a clear bag or like nothing bigger than a wallet. Just don't want anybody to have to walk back to your car. But I'm looking forward to it and
Thanks for hosting.
oh, yes.
Yeah.
If anybody wants like restaurant recs or anything, I'm available.
Best ballpark food?
There's really good food. And they change like I don't know, I've only been once this year and I didn't go down a whole lot. So I like popcorn. And there's ice cream. There's the ice cream and the little baseball cap. I mean, that's always good. Thank you.
Yeah, Sarah.
Yep, see everybody tonight, and I'm really looking forward to the work getting started in Alexandria. So hopefully we'll have an exciting update next month with the progress there. Good luck to everybody involved.
We will have a good, yes, stop it.
I would love to go to Fredericksburg tonight, but I can't because tomorrow we have a board meeting. We just marked up our budget.
So do I, man. Come on.
So then let's do that.
Let's do it.
I mean, just a postcard from the northern terminus of the system. Our financial pathway looks narrower, significantly narrower. It doesn't improve. We are biting our nails about the Commonwealth's budget. That's also very relevant for VRE as it is for everything else. So that's where we are today. Other than that, I'm happy to see that the system executes a CIP, which is extremely important. So that's a good news of this.
Marijuana.
I'll be hosting Manassas Park's Bike to Work Pit Stop next month, so I will miss the meeting. I hope to hear that all of you biked in though.
We're gonna get a big excitement. Mr. George, how are you?
Good. I mean, I'm dealing with allergies too. I mean, this eye just keeps, my head is turned that way. Right, but I will not be biking from Gainesville next month. Unless I start tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody tonight. And yeah, everybody stay safe.
Excellent. Ms. Zimmerman.
Thank you. I will just reiterate that we have the SIP district hearing on Monday at 4 p.m. And it is in the Jepson Alumni Executive Center at the University of Mary Washington in Fredericksburg. That is also where the Commonwealth Transportation Board will be meeting Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you really just can't get enough transportation, you can come join us in person. You can watch the live stream. But please, we're excited to share information about what we'll be supporting over the next year.
Thank you so much for what you do. Yes, sir. Mike.
I'm good. Nothing for me.
Nothing?
I've said enough today.
Thank you for what you do as well. Dr. Sherman.
I will bike to work from Gainesville, however, you'll need a helmet because we'll be going very fast.
Always a great partner. Thank you.
See you all again.
We're closing out Rock Run at the end of this meeting. So thank you for Mr. Sullivan for bringing us the deeds, but yeah, it's happening.
We are closing on round one. Yay. Yes. This is great. Thanks, Dallas. Okay, please.
Well, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., I'm ringing the bell for the Burke Farmers Market, which happens to be co-located at the VRE station in Burke Central. So if any of you want to come to the farmers market and get some, and it's early after game time, I'm sorry, I can't make it tonight. Come get some great fruits and vegetables and yummy goodies and see the possibilities of the Burke Center VRE station as we hopefully expand from a commuter to a regional hub.
Yes.
Excellent. Yes, Dr. Young.
Just happy to be here and to continue to work VRE and looking forward to next meeting and looking forward to seeing some of you.
Excellent, excellent.
I'm all about the popcorn. Looking forward for tonight. I think celebrating on Road Run, but also how VRE has become more visible. So thank you. CEO and Madam Chair, it makes me really proud. I will continue to advocate for weekend service and whatever that looks like, and you all will hear it. But I appreciate everybody's support. Also looking forward to everything that is coming to the Manassas. I will say May 15, we have a pit stop in our Manassas Old Town station. So please come by if you can, and I will try to make it to go. So you can join me at 6 o'clock. I won't be biking, but I can walk. I just want to keep you safe. That's why no, thank you. Enjoy the great weather, and I will continue to remind riders, if you are a senior, you can get a discount. Make sure that you get your paperwork in, and students, I believe they continue to find out that they have free service, but they also got to do what they have to do to make sure that they can use it and they enjoy it. And I believe we might have seen a little bit more during the spring break more riders, and I hope that as more things are happening in our area, we continue to increase. So I love always about safety and everything that is being done, and looking forward and making the VRE better and bigger as we connect with everybody else.
Awesome. Madam CEO, you have something?
I have said enough.
Madam Chair, one more item.
Yes, sir.
We've picked up a few pairs of glasses over some recent meetings, so if they're yours, please take them. If not, please don't.
I love it. Well, I just, as Dr. Young is seeing her way back to her seat, I want to thank everyone for an excellent meeting today. We are going to have fun tonight. That's the first thing. Fun is required. No business, fun. And- I'm sorry?
Yeah, fun.
Fun, no work, fun. The other thing is, I want to say that we are going to the next trajectory level of service here with VRE. We're moving upward. We're moving upward, and I feel it, feel the momentum. We're doing excellent work. We thank our partners at the table for understanding who we are and what we need to do. Help us find money. You know, we have to do that. Thank you for the engagement. And just be safe. Be safe and take care of you. With that.
I'm charging. And I. That's like.